Today we are going to talk about completing the square, and so that's something that you guys did last year in Algebra 2, but we are going to do it again in probably a slightly different context. The goal for completing the square in Algebra 2 was probably to solve for the roots of the equation, of your quadratic equation, and here we are headed towards writing conics in standard form. So like the circle equation, the parabola equation, the hyperbola equation, and the ellipse equation. So like you don't know anything about those things yet because that's what's coming. And so this is going to help us prepare for that. So here, every time that we have one of these types of equations, we want to all the x's on one side of the equation and all the numbers on the other side of the equation. So here we'll have x squared minus 10x, and then we'll move the 6 to the other side. So minus 6, and that's going to equal negative 13. So here, let's just look at a squared term. So here we have x plus 3 squared. So this really just means x plus 3 times x plus 3. So here we have x times x gives me x squared, x times 3, 3x, 3 times x gives me 3x, and 3 times 3 gives me 9. And so when we finish this, we have x squared plus 6x plus 9. And so the pattern that happens every time you square something ends up being x squared plus 6x, which we can take this and divide by 2. And so if I take the 6 and divide by 2, that's 3. And so that's this term is what's happening here. And then, so this is 2 times 3x plus 3 squared, so 9. And so that's the pattern here. So if we take this and we divide this piece by 2 and then square it, we will have a perfect squared term every time we follow that same pattern. So every time we square something, this is the pattern. And so that's what's happening here. So we have x squared minus 10x plus something is equal to negative 13 plus something. So this something is going to be the same on either side to keep my equation balanced on both sides. And so here, instead of 10, because 10 is 2 pieces of the same thing, this is 5. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to divide this by 2. And so that's negative 5. And so what's going here is negative 5, but then I'm going to square it. And so this isn't actually part of what's happening here, so I'm going to get rid of it. And so my perfect squared equation would be x squared minus 10x plus 25. And so the 25 needs to go on the other side, because we're adding these two things together. But then what this becomes, as we can see here, from here to here, this is x plus 3. This would be x plus 3. Well, here, this is x minus 5, because this is negative, this one's negative. It becomes minus 5. And so that's squared. Equals 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, and so that equals 12. And that's where we're going to stop here. And if you don't believe me, we're going to double check and see. So x minus 5 times x minus 5. X times x gives me x squared minus 5. 5 times x minus another 5x. Negative 5 times negative 5 is plus 25, and we're back to where we started. So it's just the same pattern over and over and over again. That's what we're using here. So let's do another one where there's a number in front of my x term here. All right, so we start the same way. We get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. So here I have 4x squared plus 24x equals 2. So add 2, now it's positive. Okay, I need to factor out my 4 from everything on this side. So here I take out the 4, it's like I'm dividing by 4, so this becomes x squared. And 4 times something, if we factor out the 4, it becomes 4x squared plus 6x and then we will add something to that as our third term. So whatever we add over here, we need to add over here. And so same idea, we'll take this term and divide it by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, and so 3 will be squared. And so 3 squared is 9. And so you would be tempted to just say 9 here, right? Well, 9 is being distributed, the 4 is being distributed with this 9. So really this is 4 times 9, or 2 plus 36. And so what we have here is 4 times x plus 3. So everything's positive inside here, so that means it's going to be a plus here. And then I'll have 38. And so 4x plus 3 squared. And then we can take this and we can divide this by 4. So my 4s would divide out. Here, this would divide by 2, and this divides by 2. So this would be 119 over 2, x plus 3 squared. So hopefully that helps our understanding for that.